the food experience that you have from the north to the south is very different because you are in the country.
Absolutely
which
different.
is the steepest country in the world, from zero sea level in Karachi to over 8,000 meters with K2. You feel extremely welcome in the country. The genuine hospitality that you get from the people in those villages. And I think that's a true asset of the country. The caring element is key. So already we have this, but this is not everything. You need as well to develop technical skills. Some vocational training. Will it be for cooks, waiters, housekeeping? Hashoo School of Hospitality is providing programs which are more for supervisor and managerial levels.
Welcome to another episode of MT Out Loud, जहाँ बस बात करते हैं. Today we're going to be talking about something very important for Pakistan's economy: tourism and the hospitality industry. When it comes to tourism, Pakistan has immense potential. It creates jobs, and then it is also something that, the entire value chain related to hospitality benefits. The geographic diversity is from sea level to mountains that go beyond 8,000 meters, and so we have beautiful cold desert, which is very rare and many countries don't have it. We have old churches, Hindu temples that are from thousands of years, and it is also a great place for religious tourism, be it Sikh gurdwaras or even the beautiful mosques that we have inherited from hundreds of years. And still, we have not been able to tap to the highest levels of tourism. Why is that so? Because there are certain drawbacks, especially when it comes to facilitating safe and memorable experiences. Today, we have with us Mr. Bastien Blanc. He is the CEO of Hospitality Division of Hashoo Group, and we're going to talk about enhancing the beauty of Pakistan's tourism. Welcome to our podcast.
Glad to be here. I'm a bit worried about the questions, but let's see how I perform today.
A French professional like you, what was your journey and eventually brought you to Pakistan?
That's a long story because I'm getting old, but the main point of the story is really coming from my grandmother. Actually, that's how my passion for the industry came. So it started when I was 5 years old, and I was cooking with my grandmother in the kitchen. So my grandmother, from a few generations ago now, she was not able to ever open her own restaurant, because you have to think that she grew up in a different world as well. And when a way to express herself was really to make the home as welcoming as possible for her friends, for the friends of my grandfather, the business relationship of my grandfather. So even if officially she never opened a restaurant, a passion was there, a creativity was there, a warmth to make the stay of the people coming in their house something special was there all the time. And I learned a lot from her. She's the one who bought me my first cooking book. And that's the way I developed my passion. And as soon as I could, I was going to my grandparents' house in order to spend time with my grandmother to learn about new recipes, to listen to her talking about ingredients. And this created really the passion I had for the industry. And that's why I started as a chef, is thanks to my grandmother. Something I've realized more recently is that I've been blessed as well, because beside this upbringing that gave me this opening to the hospitality world in a way, I've grown up as well in France for 18 years of my life. And spending the time in France, at the time I didn't realize it, but I came to realize it recently, that growing in a country where hospitality, art de la table, which is basically all the way you set up a table, all the way you create the environment to have an experience when you come for dinner or when you go to a hotel. The art de la bouche, which is basically the appreciation of all the kind of foods, and not only liking and disliking, but understanding where they come from, understanding what they bring to your life, the history behind it. I was born within it and I didn't realize it. And over the past few years, by going to more and more countries, I realized that this French heritage, this French hospitality heritage, has made who I am today. So my grandmother has been the initiator, but I've been as well within an environment that gave me this appetite to discover, to learn, and to appreciate those good things. Sometimes a bit too often, but good things. And I think that's what brought me to Pakistan, because at the end of the day, it drove my career to go internationally. And I've been international, so an expat for more than 27 years now. I've lived in 15 different countries, and this appetite to learn, to discover from different cultures, from different areas in the world, is something that definitely brought me to Pakistan, because I've been opening countries. What I call opening countries is going to countries which are countries developing their tourism to a new level. I was in Poland in 2002 when nobody was going to Poland. I was one of the first mover into Saudi when they announced their Vision 2030. All those kind of things, I've been trying to be part of it, because I think that there are exciting moments when you can drive tourism to new levels. And now to be in Pakistan right now, when you see what the government is trying to do, what you see that the green tourism initiatives, there are lots of opportunity to give a new eye on the tourism in this country, and I'm glad to be able to be part of it.
Pakistan is often called as the world's best kept secret when it comes to tourism and beautiful scenic areas. What do you think? What are our unique strengths in terms of enhancing tourism?
I have the chance to be able to drive around nearly freely across the country. I've been north to south, east to west. That you talk about Quetta, Unza, Skardu, Hyderabad, and many other cities I've been to. You have really lots of authentic experiences, which I think are extremely important when you want to develop tourism in any country. I very often give the example of Japan, that has been able to develop a very strong international tourism while keeping their own identity. Saudi Arabia, where I've just spent the past 5 years, has been able as well to do this so far. Yes, they are modernizing. Yes, they are investing a lot in tourism, but they keep it with a strong identity, a strong local DNA. What we have in Pakistan in terms of authentic experience is extremely strong, and they are extremely diverse as well, because that you're talking about the food experience that you have from the north to the south is very different, because you are in the country,
Absolutely,
which is the steepest country in the world, from zero sea level in Karachi to over 8,000 meters with K2. So you're talking about significant difference of experiences. You have a desert in Skardu, which is one of the highest deserts in the world, that nobody or very little people internationally know about or come and visit. So it's really lots of diverse experiences, because right now most of the tourism has been focused on the mountaineers, but there are much more experiences than this. So that's the authentic experience. But I would like to highlight as well the true hospitality element, because as I travel throughout the country, and I'm not always traveling in my suit, and I stop in many small villages, and I stop in many places which are not touristic at all, but they're on the road. There is a little restaurant, I go out, I try. For instance, when I go to some places, if I see a chapti kebab, I've got to stop.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying them all over the place, and my stomach is doing well. So it's absorbing all these
Share the
all
favorite
fat and oil, yes. My favorite one so far is in Abu Dhabi. When I stop in these villages, what really, beside the food and what I try when I stop, it's the genuine hospitality of the people. Because we are not in a very rich country. We are in a country where poverty is still very visible throughout the country, because the level of economic development is still quite low compared to many other countries, especially if you compare to Middle East, where there is quite a gap. Nevertheless, the hospitality that you get, the genuine hospitality that you get from the people in those villages that will invite you, want to have lunch with you, have a little talk with you, they really make you feel extremely comfortable. And you feel extremely welcome in the country. And I think that's a true asset of the country. It's people. Beside the diversity of the landscape and the food experience, definitely the people make a huge difference.
Since you've traveled so much in Pakistan, do you have an interesting story that you'd like to share?
In terms of landscape discoveries, I'm discovering things all over the time. One of my biggest surprises was actually on the road up from Lahore to Islamabad, passing by Sahiwal. and seeing so many rice fields for kilometers and kilometers. And what I like doing when I travel through the country is to send some pictures to a group of friends for them to guess in which country I am, because I've got the chance to be blessed to travel quite a bit, and then they rarely know exactly where to find me. And when I sent some pictures from this area, they thought I was in Vietnam. When I was in Naran and on the way down, coming to Naran, I stopped to take a picture. There was a nice cow next to the river with the mountain in the background. And I sent a picture. And some friends who are in Switzerland were telling me, "Hey, you are in Switzerland? You didn't tell me." I said, "No, I'm in Naran. I'm in Naran." So I love those experiences because they help people to feel more comfortable about the destination as well. Because what I'm trying to demonstrate to my group of friends, and government is doing it at a larger level, is that there are lots of things to see in Pakistan. It's a country with lots of opportunity for tourism, lots of things to see. I've been talking recently, for instance, about the spiritual tourism. Many people don't think about the Buddhism tourism that exists, the Sikh tourism that exists.
Lots of Sikh temples.
Correct. I've been able to, Nankana was a great experience for me. So I went to Nankana and I was able to visit one of their sites, and it was beautiful, and the story behind it, and to learn. As I've told you, that's why I got into the hospitality and why I've been traveling the world, is to learn about new cultures. And even within the country, we have so many diverse cultures that those travels and those little experiences, will it be Naran, Saiwal, Nankana, they bring you much more. I shouldn't say that on camera, but they bring you much more than what you can give in a way, because as much as I can help to highlight it, the culture and what you learn from all those different areas is beautiful.
Ecotourism is gaining traction all over the world. What is your group of hotels actually doing for more environmentally responsible tourism?
On that point, we do, let's say, what many companies are doing already to start with, which are the limit of the single-use plastic, trying to limit the use of single-use bottle of water as well. So we do reusable waters. We work with a company called Every Water, which is producing for us water which is filtered and providing into our hotels. We have it already in a couple of hotels, and it will be deployed throughout the country. Regarding the amenities, we are working with Organics, which is a local company, and I'll come back to Organics after, that provide us all our amenities, and they are in bulk in order to also limit the damage that we can bring to the local environment. But beside those examples of what is being done, I think the most important is what people don't see, which is that we are trying to work with local companies, like I was mentioning Organics. Organics is an example I like very much, because it's a company that was created to support women to develop their own business, originally around honey, and then it was developed around almonds, and then products which are for amenities. And it's fully created by ladies, managed by ladies, and this company has been able to scale up, and we have been glad to be able to support them to scale up by producing some products which are amazing, which are environmental friendly. And also, additionally to this, as they are produced locally, the footprint that they leave is much lighter than having to import any product for a quality of product which is amazing. So I like this element because we're supporting local economy while supporting the environment as well. Because everything they do is environmental friendly, we help them and we support the local economy, we have less carbon footprint, so it's good for everybody. Something else that we do is the education of our guests as well as our partners. So for instance, within the guest, you talk about the communication that you have in the rooms, for instance, explaining why it's important to not to waste water, why it's important to consider if you want your towels to be changed or not, because you have a less use of detergent and other products. This is the communication element, but also kind of coaching the clientele on why the things are being done. We do the same with our team, but we also do the same with our suppliers. So we have, over the past couple of years, we have modified our policies with our suppliers in order to include as well within the policy for them to be able to work with us some key elements related to ecology or sustainability, making sure that they are, for instance, they don't do wastage anywhere, but they use proper locations for it, that their team is trained on how to save energy as well. So all those elements. So in between what we do in the hotels, the way we are supporting local economy to be as well eco-sustainable, and the way we're doing this coaching of both the guest, the team, and our partners, I think that's the way you have the best impact on the overall ecotourism. Because it's not just about opening a new eco resort in the middle of nowhere, it's making sure that the whole sustainability impact is throughout the chain, and not only at the hotel, which is the last spot of the overall chain.
Hospitality industry is very labor intensive. What skills do you think are lacking in Pakistan? Because we see a lot of opportunity for tourism. Are there enough hotels? Are there enough skilled people? And if there are not, what skills should people be going forward for?
When you go back to what I said before, there is already a genuine hospitality. And it's already a good start. Because if you want to do well, if you want to welcome people well in your house or in a hotel, if you want to take care of them, which is the caring, is an element I use all the time when I participate in some of the trainings. The caring element is key. So already we have this that exists as part of the culture. But this is not everything. This can help you, can make sure that the guest feels recognized, feels understood, but it's not all of it. You need as well to develop technical skills. When you're looking at technical skills, you have a few institutions in the country which are supporting. So for instance, in our case, we support in two angles. First, with the Hashoo Foundation. We have the Hashoo Foundation working throughout the country in every single provinces in order to provide some vocational training. Will it be for culinary, so cooks? Will it be for waiters? Will it be for housekeeping? All those tasks are being provided as complementary training, which are supported by different associations in order to develop the skills. We also have the Hashoo School of Hospitality. Hashoo School of Hospitality is providing programs which are more for supervisor and managerial levels, which are programs over 2 and 4 years for people who want to develop a managerial career in hospitality, or even to move abroad. Because with this program, we are recognized outside as well, because we have an international certification, and we're able to send some of our students abroad to Switzerland, to Canada, to the UK. And recently we have done a new deal with Dubai institution as well, where 4 of our students are going to participate to an international tourism forum. Within this management program, they are learning about accounting, they are learning about cost control, they are learning about revenue management, they are learning skills at another level than vocational in order to build the management of tomorrow. Because as I've been an expat for 27 years, and as I say in every single country where I go, my goal is to make myself redundant. Because at the end of the day, if I'm here, is to be able to pass on some skills to help develop the next generation that should take over the chair. The point is not to come and to stay forever. So having really the Hashoo Foundation and the Hashoo School of Hospitality providing this kind of programs is really helping both vocational and managerial skills in order to build the skills of tomorrow. And I don't mention what we do inside the hotels, because PC Hospitality, so we are running 36 hotels right now. We will have more than 60 hotels by end of 2026 under different brands that you are very familiar with. So will it be Pearl Continental Hotels, PC Legacy, Hotel One Vogue, PC Residencies as well that we opened recently in Lahore. And we have a minimum number of hours of training given to every single employee every month. So I get from every single of the hotels, there are training reports every month, which are provided to our people and culture department that shares it kindly with me, and showing the number of hours which are provided to every single team member. Because it's not only about bringing some skills, but also making sure that they are being maintained and upskilled along the way. So that's the way we are really able to impact many people throughout the country. You have to know that, for instance, when I'm in the country, whatever hotel or restaurant I go to, there is an alumnus from Hashoo. So they say, oh, you're in Hashoo. I used to be in Hashoo in that year, or I stayed for 10 years, 15 years. When I go abroad now, and that people have identified me with the group, when I go to the Middle East, I found many alumni from the group as well. So when you're talking about how we are helping, you can see that we're helping and upskilling lots of talent, not only within the country, but providing an opportunity for them as well to move abroad and to participate to the overall growth of tourism, which I think is beautiful. It's one of the beautiful legacies of this company.
Well, it's great to know that, you have a very holistic view towards sustainability and skill development. But all this is going to be affected, like with our current situation of flooding during the peak months of certain areas where the tourism is very rampant. And so how is that going to affect the economy and the jobs of the youth?
Definitely, this kind of summer like we have had has got two challenges. One, you have the challenges in the destination by themselves, and you have the challenges as well in the feeder market. So people from Punjab or Sindh that will have traveled up north that are not traveling because they have some issues as well because of different flooding and different events that have taken place. So it's a major challenge. The past 3 months have been really not on the good side from a tourism standpoint. But nevertheless, you need to remember again that behind every single team member that you have in a hotel, there is a family. Behind the family, there is a community. So it's important for us to support again. So when you look at what we're doing at the hotel level, if you look with PC Manam Jabal, we have donated specifically a revenue of a certain period of time for the people that have been impacted by the flood. So not only supporting all people who are working within the Pearl Continental Manam Jabal, but also the people of the community. When you're looking at what we do with the Hashoo Foundation, we have been providing relief for some people in the areas that have been impacted as well. So we try to do what we can do in order to support beyond the hotels, also the community around. Because when you're in tourism, that you're a hotel, a restaurant, a tour company, like Pearl Tour and Travel, none of it is possible without the environment that you have and without the local community to support. So it's important for us to keep this in mind, even in those difficult times.
So how is digitalization actually going to affect hospitality industry, and especially with pockets of Airbnb coming? It's a very tricky acronym, but they're just coming up in so many places. So how is that going to impact hotel business?
So I always say that more there is competition, better it is for the market for different reasons. So to the guests like you, it provides many more opportunities. And for us, it forces us to remain on top of our game. Because if you have more competition, you need to remain competitive. So when you look at it that way, it's good. It goes as well in the way that it's supporting the destinations. Because some destinations are limited in terms of accommodation, which limits the overall tourism. So if you take, for instance, a Sucker has been limited in number of rooms for many years, which limit the possibility of having a higher level of tourism in Sucker, which is a beautiful place with the crossing of the rivers. Now, over the past year, lots of people have decided to invest in Sucker tourism with more hotels coming up. More hotels means more availability means more people coming. So this element as well is very supportive to the development of tourism overall, hence is good for the hotels as well. The challenge that you have is when you don't cope with the development of those new trends, because you mentioned digitalization. Digitalization needs to be here to complement the hospitality element, not to replace the human. So in some tasks, it can improve and optimize the work that the human is doing. In other tasks, it can help the human to do their job in a more efficient manner. So for instance, when you look at what we are doing right now in terms of digitalization, we have just deployed the new online concierge. So we have an online concierge available through WhatsApp 24 hours a day, which is being deployed throughout our hotels. That's an additional service, which is good for you because whatever time you want to have an information about the hotel, you don't need to call because in 2025, nobody wants to call anybody. Everybody wants to text or send a WhatsApp. So you have a full online concierge dedicated to support your needs 24 hours a day, deployed on our social media, deployed on our website in order to enable this service to our guests. You have one service which is coming up soon is the digital receptionist. So we have developed a fully digital receptionist that will talk to you like you're talking to a person, and he's on the screen with you like if you were having a video conference, and he's exchanging with you. That's for the people who don't even want to type but don't want to talk to a human and want to have a voice talking to them with a face in front of them. So we have developed this new service as well that's going to come up for luxury hotels within the next couple of months. We are also looking at the customer relationship management. So customer relationship management is a big word just to say that we want to be able to take care better of you. So when you come to our restaurant, for instance, we're able to collect information on what you like in order to make your next stay with us or your next dinner with us even more pleasant. So we are developing these kind of programs which are being put in place in all our restaurants. When you think about Hashoo, you think about the hotels all the time because we have the largest hotel portfolio. But we have one of the largest restaurant portfolio as well, in hotels and outside of hotels, with more than 57 restaurants under 7 brands. So we have lots of clients who are actually our restaurant clients, which are not hotel clients. So we need to take care of those people as well. So we are deploying tools which are helping us to be more efficient in the way we provide service. We are also looking at how to digitalize the back of house. Will it be optimizing or follow-up of credit? Will it be digitalizing the documents? As long as some documents can be digitalized, some of them not, but whatever can be digitalized to digitalize. We are looking at the optimization of procurement as well with the AI-driven solution that's analyzing properly all the spending that we do from a supplier standpoint throughout our hotels, and showing us where optimization could take place. So we are using those tools on digitalization standpoint in order to support the efficiency and to make the service we provide to our guests even better.
Excellent, because I think when it comes to hospitality, human contact is very important. And when we talk about human contact, women usually, and I'm sure you know by now, traditionally in Pakistan, women were not considered to be the right candidates in hospitality industry. But your hotels has changed that concept to quite an extent. What do you think that when it comes to diversity and inclusivity and equity, with DEI taking, a lot of us are talking about it. So what do you think, how can hotels and hospitality industry can accommodate women and other communities?
This topic about the woman empowerment is very close to my heart. Again, going back to my grandmother example. So I'll come back to it in a couple of minutes. But first, when you're talking about DEI and the integration, the diversity, something that I've discovered here, which is very strong, that I haven't systematically experienced in other countries, is you already have a strong diversity within different provinces. And when you are strengthening this diversity within the hotel, having some people coming from different origins, from different provinces, even within the same country, because everybody is a Pakistani resident or citizen, but the views from somebody who have lived all the time in Sindh, or somebody who have lived all the time in Punjab or AGK or anywhere else, is different. And when you mix them up, straight away, it brings diversity. I wanted to mention this point because it's a very interesting point specific to this country, because in most of the countries, when you move the people from north to south, doesn't change much. Here, there is really such different cultures within different provinces that it makes it even more impactful. So for instance, when we open a hotel in the next hotel that we're opening in Gujranwala, we're going to have a few people coming from different provinces, because by putting them together, it creates an experience which is much stronger. And we have to remember that in our hotels, people are coming from different provinces. Hence, having people who understand the specificities of what they like, about how they want to be conversed with and so on, is extremely important. So this is the first step of diversity. And you know, as I've been international for so many years, taking the time to understand cultures and to incorporate it in what you do on a daily basis is extremely impactful. And I'm trying as well to get this in every single country I work in order to make sure that the guests feel understood. Because the guest, you have this saying that always say it's a home away from home, and everybody has been using it for any hotels in the world. But this can only exist if you understand the people who are visiting you. If not, you are just a place where they are sleeping or they're having a dinner, but you're not a home away from home. And to be able to integrate this cultural element makes it a home away from home and makes the journey or the stay that they have with you much more enjoyable, much more memorable. And you want to create memories when they're staying in your hotel or your restaurants. To come back to the ladies, because of my grandmother, I've always paid a lot of attention to the woman empowerment in the world. And when I was in Poland, when I was in Russia, when I was in Saudi, when I was in Egypt, I always looked at opportunities to open the door to more equity. Because at the end of the day, there is very often a misunderstanding about women empowerment or women in the workforce. Very often people are looking at it like it's just giving a job to a lady to say we have a lady employed. This is absolutely not the right way, because you need to remember that every person, every lady that you bring in the workforce needs to build a reputation that helps people around to become advocate and to say, actually, she is not there as a decoration. She is there because she's really able to do the job. She is there because she's really impactful on the business. Because from the moment you do this, you have more advocates in the company, and that helps more ladies to come within the ranks, because in that case, you look at more equity in the sense that you build pipelines which are much more inclusive. When before you would have looked only at men for a job, people are saying, but for that job, they found a lady. Maybe there is a lady that could be in that job as well. Is she as good as the others or not? We will see, but at least let's check. And to have this first step to check and to see if there is talent out there, it's already a fabulous thing. Because whatever you do, and you can create jobs for different people, if you don't create the pipeline in the company and you don't have people that start growing through the ranks, you will never be able to address the overall situation of equity. Because if you just place a few people and you force them in, but you don't have a pipeline developing the talent over the years, so when the boss will change, those 3 people maybe will disappear and the company overall culture will not have changed. So it's important to get it from the roots in order to develop this approach to the workforce. For instance, what we have been doing with the Hashoo Group, we have been working quite a bit on these things. To start with the school, because the school is very close to my heart, because it's about building the next generation of leaders. Within the Hashoo School of Hospitality, we have both men and women, or they are still a bit younger, maybe boys and girls, who are part of the institution, who are growing. When we are looking at, recently there was a culinary competition. In the team that won, there were 3 ladies, 1 guy, and they did extremely well. We had a call as well regarding the development of management skills. Again, we had 2 ladies, 2 men on the call. Fabulous representation. And I like this because in the idea of the pipeline, it builds the future. So that's one of the things that really makes me happy. When you look at within the company, we have given opportunities to some of the people who have within the company to grow. So last year, we have appointed the first regional manager in charge of a property, which is the PC residence in Lahore, with a lady that has been with us for close to 5-6 years, that worked at the head office, that worked in PC Bourbon as well. And she has taken the lead of the PC residence in Lahore, and she's doing extremely well. If you check right now, even today, you go online, you go to booking.com or any of the online scoring website that you can find, you will see that this property is running 10 out of 10 in terms of quality scores. because what she created there is the right experience for people who want to stay, because residence is long stay residence, yeah? And she created the right atmosphere for them to feel comfortable with their family, with their kids. The kids are running around like if it was a big mansion, you know? It's a very interesting feeling that she has been able to develop. The whole team is mostly, they are Gen Z, a few millennials, mostly Gen Z. So the dynamic there is extremely vibrant. I love what she has done. And even the lead chef is a lady. The barista is a lady. So we have a team which is not at 50-50, but we have close to 25-30% of the team in this hotel, which is a brand new opening, which are ladies, including some ladies in responsible position, management position. At the head office, we have also grown in terms of the ladies in responsibility position. So we have, for instance, within our 3 brand directors, we have 2 ladies as brand directors. Within the marketing department, in hotels and centrally, we have quite a high representation as well. And I can tell you that those people are working, because I'm not here on vacation, and I make it very clear to everybody. You're here because you have skills, you know what to do, and my expectations are the same. That you wear a dress or jeans, that you wear a suit or shower camis, not relevant. What's relevant is that you're brought here because you have skills and you need to demonstrate your skills. And the team is getting stronger and stronger with this. And what's interesting as well is to see the transformation in the organization. Because by having more ladies in responsible positions, you create those advocates that I was mentioning before, because they see the impact and they are saying, yes, it's a lady, but she's actually there and she has an impact because this I didn't know and she taught me. And suddenly you change the dynamic that you have within the industry and within the company.
With more and more women, I think, joining the workforce, including a lot of women executives who are traveling, they're going to be very comfortable with more women staff at hotels as well. So I'm glad to see that. Running hotel, as you just said, is about creating memorable experiences. Do you remember any such experience in anywhere in the world which you just are unable to forget?
That's very easy, because I've been to many hotels in all those different countries. But for me, a hotel that makes it memorable, beside the experience, and you can have somebody that makes it memorable, but hotels which are really extremely memorable, beside the service element, they have a legacy, an historical element linked to them. And for me, that's what I call the postcard element. It means that you feel like you're inside a postcard. And that makes it very special. And for me, there are 2 hotels that I used to manage at one point in time, and both of those hotels made me feel that way. One is in Kenya, close to Mount Kenya. So you're in the middle of nowhere. You have the forest all around. You have the Mount Kenya, which is one of the highest mountain in the world and in Africa, which is in front of you. You have those birds landing next to your table when you're having breakfast in the garden. An amazing experience. You really feel disconnected from the busy world that we are living in, which is a beautiful experience. And the other one is one in Egypt, which is called the Old Cataract. It's in Aswan. And this place used to be the place where Agatha Christie wrote Death on the Nile, where Churchill went after the Second World War to relax. And they have the Churchill suite and they have the Agatha Christie suite. And you can be on those balconies overlooking the Nile, and you see the feluc, which are the local sailboats, moving very slowly on the Nile. And you feel like, again, you're inside the postcard. Like this environment has not changed forever. And you forget about the world in which we are living, which is always under pressure and things that need to be done faster and faster. So those 2 locations for me, I've been 2 of the most beautiful locations to visit. And even today, I recommend them to anybody who likes traveling, because they are really something special.
You've already taken me back in time somewhere.
Yeah, because we stay in many good hotels, will it be business hotel or leisure hotels. But at the end of the day, this historical and legacy element makes it very different.
So we have now the rapid fire section.
Oh, I'm worried already.
No, it's very easy. One word that best describes hospitality for you.
People.
France's favorite dish and Pakistan's dish you have come to love.
So French will be gratin dauphinois, which is basically a potatoes gratin that is done a lot in the south. It goes very nicely with duck. And that's my favorite French dish. For the Pakistani dish, lamb shinvari. I love this. That's very dangerous because it's not good for, as per my doctor, it's not good for my diet, but it's delicious. It's delicious.
Mountains or beaches, your ideal holiday?
I will give you two locations. One is North Macedonia, something a bit exotic. Why? Because you spend a beautiful time between the mountains and the lakes, and I love this place. The country is a beautiful country, and you have lots of peaceful areas where you can really disconnect from the world. The second place is in France, is the Arcachon Bay, which is close to Bordeaux, because it's a place where you can go and enjoy beautiful oysters, looking at the ocean, and this is extremely relaxing as well.
A country you have visited that completely surprised you?
I will go back to North Macedonia, actually, because when you think about it's a very small country, 2 million inhabitants. When you compare to Pakistan with 251 million, it's nothing. Most of your cities are bigger than the countries that you have in North Macedonia. But they have, over the centuries, even with 500 years under the Ottoman occupation, they have been able to maintain their identity. They have been able to maintain their heritage, their language. And that's something that really I was not expecting when I went throughout the Balkans and I visited all the countries in the Balkans. And this country for me is something special.
One Pakistani city you think has untapped tourism potential?
Mirpur.
Mirpur. Why is that so?
Because it's an area which is, from my point of view, from a tourism standpoint, is not fully developed yet. It's not known internationally that much, beside from the Pakistanis living overseas. And it's an area which is actually beautiful. So much greenery, the lake in Mirpur as well. It's an amazing location where you could do lots of water activities and things like this. So there is good potential to develop it, not only for local clientele or domestic clientele, but also for international clientele.
As a trained chef, fine dining or street food?
Street food, because that's where you discover the flavors. And then once you have discovered those flavors, then you can create some dishes which are maybe more evolved. But most of the creativity is into the street food originally, because that's where you make it the simplest, but you learn about the ingredients and you learn about how the flavors work together. Look at my chapati kebab. It's not a complicated dish, but the way people do it and when you see the technique that they are using, something different. So it's not a very evolved dish, but it's a dish that comes with lots of flavors. And then you can think about how you develop it in a more upscale dish, if you wish.
Thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Today has been a very enriching discussion. And we, as Pakistanis, hope that Pakistan soon becomes one of the top destinations for tourism.